Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Bots Obsession. Welcome to Your Plastic Addiction. I will come up with a catchy intro phrase later. I'm joined by my two wonderful co-hosts. One you will know. This is Shattershock or Mio. Say hi.
Hi.
And long time. Oh, I'm so sorry. I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that, like, if I look disinterested, I'm just trying to do research.
And longtime commenter, first time caller, Lord Giga Ice or Mike. We got him up over here.
Hello.
For those who are unfamiliar, Gig is here. He is very, very knowledgeable in Transformers. He's been part of the fandom for how long now?
I mean, I've been a fan of Transformers since too long. Since G2, that's when I got into it. I've been a part of the online fandom since the early 2000s. Got into it looking for information on the upcoming car robots.
Yeah.
Came RID.
RID.
So, yeah, RID.
Right on. And so it is a joy. Gig has been in the server for quite some time, and it's great to have him on the show. Today, we are going to start off with a toy draft. I figured the best way to kind of welcome in Age of the Primes and also kick off this show would be to do a toy draft, much like Mark, Evan, and BMAC did 2 years ago, whatever they did.
It has been a while.
Yeah. So we're going to be going through all of Legacy, and we're going to be doing a toy draft. So we'll pick out our favorite core from all of Legacy, our favorite Deluxe, Leader, Voyager, etc. The only thing we will not be picking is HasLabs, because one of them is not out yet, but we will go through Commander, Titan, and we do have a wild card slot. So which we have agreed that like just about anything from Legacy, including some of the Takara stuff, is up for grabs on those wild cards. I think without further ado, I'm going to kick this off. And for core class, I should also explain the other thing. We're going to round robin each size class. So I'm going to go first, then we're going to have Mio go for Deluxe, Gig for Voyager, and then we'll reset after that. All right, kicking it off for core class, my pick is going to be Legacy Iguanus. I think he was one of the first things that we saw.
Before we started the podcast, Nat was giving us examples of how we were going to do this. And he was like, oh yeah, so like if I choose something like, core class Iguanas, Mio can't have that. And I was like, oh no.
But yeah, no, Iguanus is great. He's so much fun. He's a pretender. He kind of kicked off like my love for the pretender characters. And I think while he almost lied to us a little bit with, Bomb Burst also being a core and then Skullgrin a Deluxe and Bludgeon a Voyager, I think Iguanus was like the promise of something great. And he also set up core class for like an amazing success, because I think when that guy got revealed, the other core classes were kind of, aside from Soundwave, were kind of weak, and Iguanus really showed what you could do with that size class and also what pretenders would be moving forward. So I really like him.
Justify Iguanus.
I think it's a really interesting figure, pretenders I think that of all of the classic G1 gimmicks, pretenders are the ones that you can't really replicate verbatim modern days.
Yeah.
You'd essentially have to budget for 2 toys in one.
Yeah.
And it's not happening. But if you just the idea of fusing the inner robot and the outer shell, it's been tried before in a few other lines, but I feel like Legacy is kind of where it really hit its stride. We got some really good pretenders. We got Iguanus, Bomb Burst was also really good.
Alrighty. Mio, do you have a core?
Okay, so mine's gonna be it's gonna be dinky. It's not gonna be all that intricate. It's just my favorite.
Okay.
I like Dinobot Sludge.
Oh, Sludge!
I like it. It's Brontosaurus, favorite dinosaur.
Yeah.
And got hips and little nubby toes.
I figured it was gonna be one of the Dinobots. Like
all of the Dinobots are mine. Nobody else can. I just minimize my screen. I look like a weird force of shadowy darkness with a little cat. Like, yes, my core classes.
I
Nobody
think
else can have him.
I think he's a bit weak in terms of Dinobots, just because like Swoop exists and he's so good compared to the other ones. But Sludge makes sense for
you. Did a
you.
video. You just did a video and you're like, Swoop, garbage.
Okay, Leader Swoop sucks, but Core Class Swoop is good.
Like, okay, but in Core Class, Swoop is kind of great.
He is.
He's yeah, the core Dinobots, I think. It's so weird because I think as soon as they were released, everyone was like, "Oh, so you're just gonna repaint all these into Dinobots?"
Yeah,
that was clearly, obviously, the plan.
Like I think it was when Grimlock dropped that everyone was like, "Oh, it's Dino King."
Yeah, and as soon as, and I feel like a lot of people kind of slept on the initial Dinobot versions of those toys, but they are significantly different. Like if you have the Dino King version, I definitely recommend picking up a few of the Dinobot ones because between the the new heads and the new colors, they do their own thing.
I adore like all of them. If I could have all of them, I
Just
would,
a-
and
just
I
an
do.
An army of little dinosaurs.
An army of tiny plastic dinosaurs.
Yes. Realistically, the only problem with specifically the core class Dinobots is that they did the stupid thing that they always do, where they're like, "Oh, we have a set of," I mean, it's something that the Power Rangers community complains about a lot. It's like you have a specific set, and they'll get through like 4 out of 5 of them or something, and then all of a sudden they'll have one that like released, and nobody can ever find it anywhere.
Dude, Snarl took forever for us to get. I think yours comes from the Philippines, actually, from one of our friends.
Yeah, I thought it was Japan.
One of the two.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know
You had
is that
to
it
go
took, like,
across
2
the
years.
Pacific Ocean.
Yeah. Alrighty.
I mean, realistically, in my opinion, all the core class Dinobots are pretty great.
Yeah.
The Brontosaurus is my favorite dinosaur.
And that combined mode is a lot of fun. I've played with your core class Volcanicus, and it's very fun.
I played with your core class Volcanicus.
All right, Gig, your favorite core, your core for our toy draft.
Tasmania Kid.
Ooh, okay, so we got one from each year going on. I love it.
Yeah, so going through all of these, I settled on Tasmania Kid for a few reasons. One, look, anyone who knows me, I'm a JG1 weeb, and so I've gotta rep that part, I guess. But the other part is, honestly, it's just a really good toy. It's very similar to the original, probably more so than a lot of modern toys. Like it is incredibly close to the original, to the point where I'd say you probably don't need the new one if you have the original. But I did not have the original, so this was a very nice. It was a very nice figure to get. It was a great release right after we got Leo Prime. He was able to, he's a very nice display piece with that. Just good mold, good character design, and part of the franchise that I think doesn't really get like a whole lot of love. Like Legacy was probably the first time that Generations really gave us a decent representation of Japanese Beast Wars, because we got Magmatron, Leo Prime,
got a lot of guys in that.
Kid. Oh yeah, and so Tasmania Kid is sort of he's kind of an oddball selection, but he's a really good toy, and yeah, he's easily my pick for this.
They specifically used his Japanese name too, which was like the most interesting part.
Yes. What is his American name?
I want to say it's Snarl, but I think I'm wrong.
I mean, probably.
I'm not a Beast Wars guy.
And I mean, especially with the Dinobots coming out, they couldn't really just. Oh yeah, it is Snarl.
Oh okay, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, especially with with the Beast Wars guys coming out, they couldn't really do that. And it is kind of really interesting because Tasmania Kid is really not a name that follows Hasbro's conventions when it comes to naming Transformers characters, but they did it. Like
Yeah.
it was out at retail. You could find a toy on shelves that just said Tasmania Kid.
Alrighty, I think we're gonna move to Deluxe here, which means that Mio, you are up first. You get to pick the Deluxe.
Okay, so if anyone saw my face during Gig's speech, I it looked like I wasn't listening at all. That's because I was doing my research. And okay, I gotta be honest, I didn't choose one based off of what I think is the best. I chose one based off of what I think, like, personally I was most excited about.
Yeah.
It has to be Autobot Cosmos.
Cosmos.
I love Cosmos. Okay, so here's the thing. Maybe controversial, maybe not. I love his build so much, except I will never ever transform him ever again because I tried to transform him twice, and there's like this specific like clip or like section that you like snap in, but it's so incredibly tight that like I know it's gonna snap. I know it's gonna snap or it's gonna have stress marks or something. So like he's not really a transformer because he won't transform. You have to like shove him together. But I love him.
That was such a surprise from year one. He also out on shelves now, new Legacy United Cosmos. But yeah, like he's so much fun as a mini bot, and that head swivel that he has, the ball joint on his neck is super emotive. I really love it.
And he's got his little flag too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
his Raceman flag. Yeah. He's a lot of fun.
I just love him because like I had this really tiny version of him and it was super cute, and then this is like a more sturdy, more filled out, like I don't know, very accurate in my opinion, like version of him, and I just
the journey to get Deluxe Cosmos has been crazy because he was originally like slated for classics in 06.
Yeah, he was gonna be in classics, and then he was gonna be in titaniums. And then I want to say he was supposed to be like a Titan's Return. He was supposed to be like a Prime Wars Deluxe, but then I think they ran out of budget, so they just re-released his Generations toy.
He had a Legends toy, and then he had upscaled Legends, which kind of became core.
Yep.
And then finally,
we get the Deluxe.
He gets a Deluxe release. It's been a
too long. And I
just love. I think his size is perfect. I think that he's chunky enough. You know, like he has like a decent weight to him, unlike a lot of bigger figures and stuff. I just think he's kind of overall perfect, except for he doesn't transform.
It's one of the few cases as well where you got the toy before I did, because we share Walmarts. Me and Mio do. We share Walmarts, and when Velocitron came out, she wasn't, she had the day off and was able to go to Walmart and got the Cosmos at our Walmart before I could.
Oh, so you're one of the few people who actually found that toy at a Walmart.
Both me and her found ours at Walmart's.
Wow.
I made sure I found one.
Yeah.
The only one I've actually seen in the wild was at like a comic shop, and they wanted $90 for it.
Wow. No.
Yeah, it's like no.
I'm good.
Alrighty.
Keep him away from Astro Train, but I think he's pretty great.
Alrighty. I need to give you your Classics Astro Train back, by the way. Speaking of, Gig, your Deluxe.
Ooh, okay. So this one is actually probably the category I have like the most options for. But
yeah.
I'm gonna land. I'm gonna take that opportunity to advocate for a mold that I really like. I'm going with Crosscut.
Ooh, I love me a good Diaclone. Crosscut's so good.
Crosscut is like an intersection of like 4 things that I like. I like red and silver as a color scheme.
Yeah.
I like Transformers with faceplates. I like Diaclone repaints, and I love the Skids mold.
Yeah.
So it just hit all those points for me. The Skids mold is one that I feel like gets a hate, but I adore that thing.
Yeah.
It's just solid. I think part of it is just like I love the Honda City, and this is kind of like it's an off-brand Honda City,
Yeah.
obviously, but it's close enough. And it's just it's a fun alt mode, I think, because it's one of those Transformers who transforms into an alt mode that isn't an alien space car, and it also isn't like a souped up sports car. It's just like you could see one of these just on the road. Like it's just very ordinary.
It's a lot of fun. It like you said, it's such a good mold too.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they've gotten so much mileage out of it. There's there's Skids and his repaints.
Yep.
There's what is his name?
It's Crankcase. He's my size
Crankcase.
Comparison guy. He's over here.
Yes. There's Crankcase. And then there's Medics,
Yep.
who I thought was pretty clever. And then they like gave it a second rework as Cannonball, which is just
my beloved.
fantastic.
Cannonball's
just fantastic. So I had to go with Crosscut here. I was actually going to go with Skids originally, but I think I like Crosscut just a bit more.
This segues perfectly into my pick because I was sitting here debating whether or not it was Crosscut or Cannonball. So my pick for Deluxe is Cannonball.
But with stickers.
I adore Crosscut was my first experience with the Skids mold, and I very much instantly fell in love with it. It's such a good toy. I have it as Skids, I have it as Burnout, and I have it as Cannonball. And I was thinking of like, okay, what's my favorite Deluxe? And I can't think of a mold I have more of because I think I have 5. I have Crankcase, I have Burnout, I have Skids, I have not Skids, I have Crosscut, and I have 4. But yeah, and Cannonball, he's a childhood favorite of mine. He's my boy. He's a space pirate. And on top of that, I called him like a year before he released. So, and he's everything I wanted. He's everything I wanted out of a new Cannonball. And yeah, just
not saying you told Mark about what to do, but
but there is an Instagram post where I say, "Hey man, there's a Crankcase mold with shoulder cannons that turns into an SUV. You could totally make Cannonball off of it." So yeah, Cannonball, yeah. And following up, yeah, the Skids mold is great. I don't know what else I can really say that wasn't said about Crosscut that I could say about Cannonball. Other than maybe like with Cannonball, they like fixed all the tolerances. Like any tolerance that was wrong, it's fixed on him.
Yeah, I will say that's probably the biggest problem with the mold is the Crankcase Medics version had some loose tolerances.
Yeah.
And it was so much so that when Cannonball came out, I was going to skip him because I knew that the second wave of that mold had some tolerance issues, and I have the original Cybertron Cannonball, so I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
But you actually got you got it, and
So
you're like,
good.
you got to get it. You got to get it. Like it's so like they fixed everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's fantastic. Like down to them even working in the shin shin stores.
Yes.
For his weapons.
Yes.
Like,
He has everything.
Extra stuff.
He has everything. Okay. All right. Okay. That's enough glazing the Skids mold. We glaze the Skids mold enough on this channel. So Gig, you're up for Voyager. Favorite Voyager from Legacy, from all of Legacy.
Ooh, okay. So this is another one that I feel like I've got like a lot of options, but I'm going to have to let nostalgia win just a bit on this. I'm going to go with Armada Starscream.
Ooh, Armada Starscream.
Yeah, so Cybertron Starscream was really, really, really good. I'm going with the Armada version though, because I think it's likewise pretty great. Also, Armada is a childhood favorite of mine.
Yeah.
I loved that show as a kid. Starscream is one of my favorite characters of all time in Transformers. Armada Starscream was, I think, a really good rendition, kind of like probably one of the best versions of Starscream they've ever done.
Yeah, very heroic.
It's kind of a take that they've never really revisited with him, which is strange because he is fairly popular, the Armada version. But I will, and also on top of toys good, like the character. Also, I got this on a trip to Singapore with my better half.
Oh,
So,
yeah, alongside the Sound Blaster, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was really cute. We were going to Singapore, and he goes, and like about a week before we're leaving, he goes, "Hey, I looked up the best place to get Transformers in Singapore," and I'm like, "Oh, you didn't have to do that."
It's such a nice story.
Yeah, and so we walked to this place. It was just this place in a mall. We walk in, and I mean, yeah, just like wall to wall Transformers, Dragon Ball, Super Sentai robots. Like basically, if you are into nerdery, this place was the place to be. And they had a few things like funnily enough, after we got back, I ended up seeing this guy all over the place at retail, but at the time
he hung around.
At the time I hadn't seen him yet, so I was like, "Oh, I haven't seen this. I'm gonna grab, Armada Starscream." I grabbed Sound Blaster, and then I also grabbed Legacy Twincast.
Okay.
So those three were my Singapore hauls, and there's just a lot of good memories associated with that. So I'm going with Armada Starscream as kind of like a sentimental, also kind of like left turn kind of thing, because like that the Cybertron Starscream they did is just fantastic. But
so good.
I really like the Armada. I really like the Armada one too, so I had to give it to him.
That's so cute. Some people collect like little charms. Some people collect stamps. No, take your spouse, partner, to go to a collectible store.
Take them to a toy store, baby.
Go to a hobby store. Buy Gundams. Buy Transformers.
So then that rotates back over to me. My pick, he was my toy of the year last year. My favorite Voyager was animated Optimus Prime. I grew up with animated. I grew up on animated, and when I saw that they were doing when they did Prowl, I was like, I really hope they do a Prime and like just the first 5 Autobots. And that Optimus Prime is everything, man. Everything that I wanted in a new one. He has superposable ankles, more than 90 joints at the knee, double jointed elbows. He has the really cool laser prime wrists. I wish he had opening hands. He has the detail on the inside of the chest, and he transforms so cleverly. I love the way his legs and the torso, like the arms, come up on the sides and convert. Just everything, and he still has the waist flip from the old Voyager. He's so good. It's everything I wanted in a new Prime, and I know that a lot of people are like, oh, he should have had the faceplate. No, animated Optimus Prime doesn't have a faceplate. He has a battle mask, and I'm so glad that they went no battle mask. They went no faceplate. He has the mouth. I love it. It's everything I wanted in a new Optimus, a new animated Prime.
Out of all the animated ones, I think Optimus definitely looks the most accurate, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think he was definitely like peaking them. Everyone was excited for more, and then it just kind of went.
Yeah. The Bumblebee is good. The Bumblebee's okay. The Prowl's good. I really like the Prowl mold. He could have been better, but Prime nails it. He does everything right.
I understand. Okay, so like I understand why Beast's face is Beast's face, but I don't like it.
My hot take is I think that Legacy animated Prime is better than the animated Voyager.
Ooh, that is a hot take.
A lot of.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I pretty good, pretty solid.
All right, Mio. Yeah, your turn. Who's your Voyager?
Okay, so I feel like none of my options are gonna be like fan favorites. I think Mio not a true fan.
Get your comments ready.
Actually, I don't know. I like simple stuff, so I'm gonna go with Twin Cast.
Oh,
Okay, and
that's
I
a
know
good
that
pick.
everyone's gonna be like, why not Blaster? I like blue. Blue is my favorite color. Shut up.
Blaster's from Kingdom, anyways.
Okay, so like the reason I like Twin Cast is that first, who doesn't like Twin Cast? uh, but second, like it's just like this. What I like about Transformers, I love that like simplistic, blocky shape that just turns into like something, you know, mechanical. And like, who doesn't love a boombox?
Yeah.
You know, I just like the more unique stuff every once in a while. Like I like Astro Train because he's like 3 things in one, and it's really cool. And he's a spaceship and a train. Great. But then like Twin Cast Blue and little music box, and he said chunky.
And he comes with his he comes with his buddy too, unlike Soundwave.
And like another reason I specifically chose Twin Cast is because I remember like I don't like spoiling myself on what comes out, so I don't really like watch. Like I watch like the big Hasbro Pulse live streams and stuff, but I don't watch their like updates over and over again because I know I'll forget what the heck's coming out anyways. And so I was waddling around Walmart one day with my sister, and I see Blue, and I'm like,
I remember this too.
And something you have to know about our locations is that even though we are Walmart Central, we don't often get like the new stuff. Mostly it's like the bigger cities that end up with like the new stuff first. So like when there's something new on the shelf, it's exciting, and you like go from over here noticing like a glimmer of something to like right there, like let me see the new things. And I saw Twin Cast, and he was perfect, and there was only one of them, so I put him in my cart, and I was smiling, and my little sister's like, "Oh, is that for Nod?" And I'm like, I guess I should ask. And so I contacted Nod while he was at work. And I was like, do you want this? And I was like, I've been wanting that. And I was like, okay. And it's still sitting on his shelf.
It's over there. It's right over there. I remember that because you handed it to me and you're like, I was really hoping you didn't want this because I wanted it.
Like,
I need to go to Ross and get Mio her own. I need to go to Ross and find a Ross cast.
So that's why I like Twin Cast, because he comes with a silly story. And he's blue.
Aww.
He's so good. I love that we all have some really sentimental Voyager picks. I love it.
Voyager, it's the size class for love.
Moving, it's using love as a transition to hate. Leader class is a bit rough for Legacy. I'll be the first to say it. And I'm going first here. We're looping back around. I'm gonna steal Sandstorm because I'm trying to think of a leader I like more, and I think I'm gonna. And if he doesn't get picked, it's gonna be my wild card. But Sandstorm is so good. Sandstorm was like the leader class that kind of reinvigorated my belief in the leader triple changers. Just because like every mode looks good. He comes with that wench that we haven't seen on like anyone like ever, or at least not since G1, and it's amazing. I love everything about him. Rubber tires, all pinned wheels. And I know that he has like the chest issue, but it's such an easy fix. It's such an easy fix. And people are like, "Oh, he doesn't have the animation accurate head." Toy accuracy supremacy all the way.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Toy accuracy supremacy.
Yes.
I love that Sandstorm. He's so good. Helicopter mode's great. I love that he's an Osprey helicopter. Or no, he's not an Osprey because they have the two. But I love that he's a rescue copter. I love his dune buggy mode. I'm a big sucker for dune buggies. And he's black and orange. My favorite, like not my favorite, but probably my second favorite color scheme after white and gold. Black and orange, and he's peak. He's so good. So leader Sandstorm.
So see, when you say he revitalized your faith in leader class, you're telling me you didn't love Studio Series Springer?
Oh man. I got words about Springer, dog.
Well, I just keep coming back as far as Springer goes. So that story where like I was actually watching your review of Springer, and you're like, "This is awful! Don't buy this." And like I'm watching that as I'm on the way to a comic book store, and while I'm there, I see that Springer for sale. I'm like, "Hey, you know what? I'll give it a shot." And I got it home, and I'm messing with it. I'm like, Don was right.
Yeah, it was just like I remember you like we were in a call afterwards. You're like, "This is awful," and I was like, "Yeah, I told you before the review." All right, Mio, do you have a? I think I know who your favorite leader's gonna be, just because it shares a mold with your favorite leader. But who is it? Who's your favorite leader from Legacy?
I didn't have enough time to go through all the leaders, so I'm just gonna say some of the leaders that I saw.
Yeah.
So first I was gonna go with Blitzwing. Because I was like, Blitzwing's pretty cool, right? Who doesn't like Blitzwing? And he's kind of hefty, and he does some neat things, whatnot, right? But then R.I.D. Scourge.
Oh, you suck!
Yeah, R.I.D. Scourge.
Oh!
That one's my favorite. I saw it, and I was like, oh, that's right!
All right.
This
All
one is
right.
mine.
I thought you were going to pick Galaxy Shuttle.
The moment you didn't take it, like, if you go back, you'll see that the moment you didn't say Scourge, my little Grinch, I was like, Scourge is mine.
Damn! Oh, I lost him! I lost my wild card! He's great. Scourge is so good. I could talk about Scourge all day.
Okay, so like I get like he's not the most accurate Scourge, but
We got stickers for that.
The colors, he's my favorite out of all the Scourges that I've seen so far, in my opinion.
You've seen most of them because I own almost all of them.
I know, and he's my favorite.
That's a solid pick.
So happy. I was so happy that they put the Combatron emblems on him.
Yeah.
I was worried. It's like, are they gonna because the original Scourge? Not that I would know. The original Scourge never made it to Canada, unfortunately. Ooh. I think Canadian Toys R Us's are still waiting on their shipments of R.I.D.
Something that's notable about him, kind of like Tasmania Kid, was all the listings up until his release all said he was Black Convoy, which was kind of interesting. I remember everyone was talking about it because like, yeah, that's Scourge, but why are they calling him Black Convoy? That's weird. Why is he Black Convoy? And then he comes out and he has the Combatron logos, and it's like, oh, he's Black Convoy. Got it. He doesn't have the he doesn't have the Decepticon logos. So
and he's just a great release.
The Laser Prime mold is gold. This brings us to the part where there are only 3 options for each category.
Yeah.
So someone gets stuck with a leftover no matter what. So I went first for leader. So Mio, you get to pick the first commander.
I don't really care about it.
Best color scheme ever, white and gold. Oh my god. Love Nova Prime. Are you Legacy? Is he Legacy? He might be wild card. He might be wild card.
Ooh.
Depends.
It depends on if Nod allows it, which Nod does, of course.
Nod is first for wild cards. So to freshen up the memories of watchers and each other, wild card can be anything. It can be an exclusive. It can be a different deluxe that you didn't pick earlier. It could be another leader you didn't pick earlier. Could have been Velocitron Scourge. Could have been that if Mio didn't pick it. I am kind of wavering between Toxie and Nova Prime.
You're welcome.
And like also Towline. I really like Towline. But I think I gotta get a Laser Prime mold on my on my list, I'll feel bad if I don't get a version of that on my list. So I'm gonna go Toxitron, uh, which
Great toy.
yeah, love Toxie. Toxie's great. We
Colors are perfect.
friend of the channel, Luke Thompson, wrote Toxic Transformer, so Toxie has like slightly more. It's always fun. Any one of Luke's characters is fun to own, and Toxitron is just so well done. And it's the first time that we've gotten a Toxitron at retail. I'm gonna consider that he's a Walmart exclusive retail because it's close enough. He's not a convention exclusive anymore, thank God. And it's also the most accurate Toxitron we've ever gotten, at least to the canceled prototype. It's off the Laser Prime mold. It comes with the Sludge trailer. There's a couple paint apps that should be purple instead of green. But other than that, he's really good and he's really fun. And of course, it's the Laser Prime mold, so it's a great mold. And those colors are fun. Green and purple is always a winner. But yeah, Toxie's great.
Hmm. I think you basically said everything that I would say about it. So
Yeah.
I just think he's a really striking deco. It is kind of one of those crazy things that is like, as someone who's been in the fandom for as long as I have, if you would have just 10 years ago said like, yeah, you could go to a Walmart, you're going to be able to go to a Walmart and buy a Toxitron, like just at regular leader price point, I would have called you insane. Like that we even got that whole wave is,
Yeah.
that whole capsule is nuts to me. And it really does show like what a great place I think we're in as far as, being Transformers collectors, that Toxitron was a retail release.
He was an anchor character for a whole subline.
Yeah, and there's like there's not enough positive things I could say about it. He's just a fantastic toy. He even comes with his own because he's from the Laser Prime mold. He has his own like, I guess, like Captain Planet villain Matrix.
Yeah,
like, the Matrix of pollution, I guess.
I need to make a 3D printable Matrix for him that's Spinout's face. I need to work on that because in the Toxic Transformer he holds up Spinout's head and rips it in half, thinking it's a Matrix. I think giving him a Spinout or a Sunstreaker head that could fit inside of his chest would be great.
Oh no, poor Spinout.
We love Spinout. Mio, your wild card.
I had dibs.
Oh, Deathsaurus?
Say it all the other. Deathsaurus!
Deathsaurus.
Oh.
He's hot.
He is.
Deathsaurus has had a death grip on Mio. I remember, like, I got Victory Saber. And then they started. Oh yeah. Show off your charm. Show it off. Yeah, Deathsaur are us. There it is.
Deathsaurus.
So
there it is. The backwards R.
So I remember getting Victory Saber, and then they announced Deathsaurus, and I was like, well, I gotta get Deathsaurus. And Mio helped me cover him. She helped me out a lot. I was about half short, and she got the other half for me. And it shows up, and one of the caveats was that it had to go to her house. So I go over to her place, and we unbox it, and she's just like, oh my God. And ever since like that moment, like I've given her Transformers the manga 3 so that way she could like learn who this character is, and she's like, nah, I just love Deathsaurus. He's just I don't know what it is, but she just has a death grip. He has a death grip on her. It's crazy.
So why Deathsaurus? Firstly, blue, favorite color. Second, gold. Third, specifically, Gundams are way cooler than Transformers in my opinion.
He is part of that era of like Gundam design Transformers.
Maybe not the way that the gimmick of the toys are. Like that's debatable, obviously. Because Transformers are definitely more toys than just collectibles, in my opinion. But the designs themselves in like the Gundam franchise is so much more unique overall, and so to have somebody who drew Gundams create a Transformer, it like clashes the two designs that I love together chunky, bulky, square, but then also like space and like weirdly, like I don't know how to describe why I like Gundam so much. I think it's just because like they look unearthly in a way,
Mhm.
but like beautiful and elegant. And like when I look at Death Source, it's like he is king. You know?
He's Death Source is definitely the one Decepticon leader who I think really does embody like the title Emperor of Destruction.
Yeah.
It's so much so that his HasLab toy comes with a throne. Like
So good.
he just comes with his throne that his pet bird can sit on.
Someone compared Deathsaurus to like if Soundwave got Unicroned.
Yes.
And I was like, oh wow.
That's a really especially with his like his little chest minions.
Yeah. Tiger and Falcon or whatever.
Eagle, I think.
Okay. Eagle.
Yeah, Tiger and Eagle. He's also got just I love his giant like fuck off scimitar.
Yeah, his dumb sword and his MP Megatron mace.
Not you put this on my wall so well. I literally ripped it off the thing just to get it off. But
oh yeah.
so this is for my buddy, Deshaun and Desha, technically Deacon, I think is his name. But then so whenever I actually sent him one of my Deathsaurus keychains, and he drew me the Saurus holding the star.
Ooh.
So am I a fangirl? Maybe. Maybe this is like my favorite thing. It's got a crack on it, sadly, but like this is my favorite thing. I literally cried when I opened it.
She loves Deathsaurus. She's Deathsaurus girly.
For no reason.
Alrighty. Gig, your wild card.
So this is gonna I almost went with Legacy G1 Prime. Almost
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because that's a really good toy that I think deserves some shout out, but I decided I was gonna go with something else, something that kind of touches on something we've discussed earlier. Neil brought up like the whole cyberpunkness of Scourge.
Yeah.
And this is kind of the same mood in the other direction.
Synthwave.
Tron Collection G2 Sideswipe. The whole vaporwave, synthwave kind of deal, but kind of going for like warm colors instead of like the whole nighttime vibe. When they announced the G2 Toxitron set, obviously I was looking forward to Toxitron. This was the other one that I most wanted.
It's a good deco.
It's also the only one on my list that I actually have within reaching distance of my computer, which was maybe poor planning on my part, but yeah, this is probably my favorite modern mold, period. Just the Sideswipe mold.
It's so good.
The Siege Sideswipe mold. I mean, this is technically the Kingdom Earth version, but you know, it's basically the same.
Yeah.
And it's probably the one I have the most of. Because I've got Sideswipe, I've got Tiger Track, I've got Deep Cover, Clamp Down, Red Alert, Gigawatt also, and then I've got this dude, and I just like everything about it, from the fact that it's a canceled G2 deco that they finally made and released to retail, to the striking colors, to like I don't know, like the whole vaporwave aspect of it, just
the chest tampo is nice.
Yeah, it just made me happy. So I have to give it to him.
He uses the Red Alert head too, right? It doesn't use the Sideswipe head.
Yeah, he uses the Red Alert head. Strangely enough, the one knock I would give against this guy, and I don't know why they did it.
So to kind of round this out, I'm gonna read off our picks in order to kind of close us out here. So,
oh wait, you actually like saved them?
I wrote them down.
Oh, cool.
So my picks, running through it again, I picked Iguanus as my core class, Cannonball as my deluxe, Animated Prime as my Voyager, Sandstorm as my leader, and Toxitron as my wild card. Mio picked core class Sludge for hers, Cosmos for her deluxe, Twin Cast for a Voyager, Scourge, stole Scourge as her leader, and Deathsaurus for her wild card. And
Yeah,
Gig,
I think my Commander and Titan are the only ones that I was like, eh.
yeah, I was impressed by how much of this you were like, yeah, I'm locked in, I know exactly what I'm picking. And then Gigs was Tasmania Kid for core, Crosscut for deluxe, Armada Starscream for Voyager, Armada Megatron for leader, and G2 Sideswipe as the wild card. Overall, some fun
Vote
stuff.
for who wins.
Oh yeah. Throw in the comments who do you think had the best draft. Let us know, and then I'll hopefully by the next time we launch one of these, we'll have an answer.
Maybe we don't include the Commanders and Titans.
maybe we ignored
draft.
that point. I think if we do this again, when we do this again for Age of the Primes, we'll just lump Commander and Titan together as big item. But yes, thank you guys for tuning in to your Plastic Addiction. Again, I will come up with a snappy intro and outro at a later date. We're going to try and do this monthly, so tune back in next month for your next dose of your Plastic Addiction. Thank you for joining us.